Virtues and the Shem angels. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and this is a video for Patreon. Today I wanted to talk about bringing a deeper connection with the angels by elevating ourselves. That like is drawn to like. That if we want to have a deeper connection with the celestial spirits, we ourselves should be like unto them to a certain degree. By raising ourselves to become more like the angels. This helps us to learn their lessons, to deepen our connection with them. And it helps us to be plugged in, because like is drawn to like. A lot of people have asked, as they're getting closer to the angels, do they need to follow the Ten Commandments, or how do they really connect at that level, with things like that? I would say that across traditions, the practice of the cardinal virtues. The cardinal virtues are something that come to us from late antiquity. The cardinal virtues are mentioned in the book of Proverbs, specifically. The cardinal virtues of wisdom, fortitude, temperance, and justice. These are found in the Bible. And they're also found in Catholic and Orthodox ancient church teachings as well. The cardinal virtues are very important in the Catholic Church, Orthodoxy. And the virtues are also, they're most highly elaborated in Greek pagan philosophy, such as Plato. In fact, the cardinal virtues probably derived from Hellenism, from Greek philosophical thought and spiritual thought. And what we need to understand also about Greek philosophy, depending on the school, of course, it is salvific. It does deal with the soul. Platonism, reading the Phaedo, one of the Platonic dialogues that has Socrates, he talks about, and this is a little bit of a different topic, nothing to do with the Shem angels or anything. We're talking about Platonism, which is a Greek philosophical system of Plato. Plato talks about how the soul goes through reincarnation in this Greek pagan philosophical system of Platonism and Plato, that the soul has metempsychosis or reincarnation, but only philosophers. Our goal is to ascend to the realm of the divine. It's through the practice of philosophy that we move from the body to the soul, that we move away from just a purely materialistic conception. And you see in the Greek magical papyri, things like purifications, and purification is something that you see in the grimoire tradition as well. To be temperate and wise and strong and just. So, Shem angel magic is something very personal. It's something for each person to work through. In their interactions with the divine spirits, with the 72 angels of the Shem HaMephoresh. Me personally, I highly recommend, whatever background, it's found in Greek philosophy and it's found in church and Judaism too. It's found in the Bible, and it's also in the pagan traditions, the practice of the four cardinal virtues. Wisdom, being wise, is very important. Being wise, prudence. Wisdom is making proper choices, doing the right things, making proper decisions is wisdom. Wisdom. Living according to reason, doing what is reasonable, what is smart to do in a situation. It's very important to do what's smart to do in situations, to be wise in our actions, to not just be animalistic and reactionary, but to do what really needs to be done for the bigger picture. Wisdom. Courage or fortitude. You know, this is missing in some systems. They don't put a lot of focus on courage and fortitude, but not being weak, being strong and courageous and facing adversity. Being able to be strong and courageous and brave and face adversity. To do what you need to do, to not be weak or cowardly, to be strong. It's important to not be cowardly, but to be strong and courageous in life and against adversity and things. Temperance. Temperance is not letting the appetites of the body take us over. Temperance. Now, temperance means moderation. It's not total abstention, although sometimes people like to totally abstain from things or before an important operation. But temperance in general is moderation. Not being gluttonous with our appetites. For food, for intoxicants, for sex, to not be dominated by these desires, where we're not doing things that are wise. We're doing unwise things because of there's little point in being wise if we don't have temperance and we're not able to control ourselves. Have you ever wanted? Have you ever known that it's not the right thing, but your desires take over? So it's important to have temperance. To know how to, if, you can enjoy the pleasures of life, but not being controlled by them. And justice is giving to each his or her due. Justice. Through the practice of wisdom, fortitude, temperance, and justice, we could raise ourselves a little bit towards the angels. We know in magic that like is drawn to like, in the same way that a lunar stone or silver is able to draw down lunar things because of its lunar quality. We know that solar things are mercurial things, or fit receptacles. We are wetting above and below. What could we say about the angels? A lot of times we're focused on exteriors, but really beyond the body, beyond possessions, what we have is the character, the content of the soul. When we all die, we don't take our possessions with us. We don't take our jobs. We don't take our clothing with us when we die. What we have without the body is the content of the character. And it is character that molds our life. There's little point in asking for things all the time if we're not going to change. So, what can we say about the angels? They too are bodiless. What qualities can we say about the angels? We could say that angels are wise. They're wise Angels are definitely wise, wisdom. Angels are courageous and strong. Angels are not weak or cowardly. Angels are strong and wise and just. And angels have no need of temperance because they're of a celestial nature. They don't need a body. Angels don't need to moderate bodily appetites. They're bodiless. So temperance is inherent in their very quality. Just, temperate, wise, and strong. And having these qualities, planting these virtues within the soul like a garden. Allowing the virtues, we nurture the virtues bit by bit, giving a little water, a little sunlight. We nurture, we plant the virtues. It's not overnight. It takes tending like a garden. We plant the virtues in the soul, and we water it bit by bit. We nurture the virtues, and they grow and flower within us. So that through the practice of wisdom and fortitude, temperance and justice, we're able to draw ourselves up towards the angels. And through a more fit receptacle, we're able to allow their blessings to shower upon us. We are a fit receptacle like a cup, ready to receive that divine light within us. We're able to receive that divine light. We are at their frequency. We are connected. We are angelic. That doesn't mean being perfect all the time, but at least trying to be wise, trying to be courageous, trying to be temperate, trying to be just. So it's important, I think, when asking for the Shem angels for things, is this just? I think it's important even when asking or petitioning the angels, is what I'm asking for just? Are we strong enough to face adversity, or are we just going to allow people or events to push us around? Are we able to have the strength to achieve the thing? Or to be in a position, do we have the strength? Are we temperate enough? Are we able to resist temptation? And also, imagine someone being unwise. Imagine someone very bold and courageous, and they're temperate, and they're just, but they're unwise. They make all kinds of bad decisions, poor decisions, and suffer. They're unwise, but they're strong and courageous and just and temperate. They're just unwise. Causes all kinds of problems. Imagine someone being wise and temperate and just, but they're weak. They lack fortitude, courage. Someone that's weak, they don't have courage, fortitude. They're wise and temperate and just, but they're weak. They allow events and people and things to push them around. Imagine someone that's wise and strong and just, but they're not temperate. They may get drunk and do something stupid, or they don't temper their passions, push them around. So they're just, they're wise, they know what's best, and they're just and they're strong, but they're not temperate. And imagine someone being wise, strong, and temperate, but unjust. Someone that's unjust, I mean, that's just a crafty person that has control of their desires. That doesn't mean that they're just. What is justice? Justice is giving to each his or her due. Justice is the good in the sense that it's not just the good of the individual, it's the good of the whole. What is good for the whole, for the majority, for the world, for others, is objectively good, as opposed to just your own personal desires. What is good for the overall scheme of things? What is good for the overall scheme of things is important. And you have to remember that angels deal with the overall scheme of things. Angels are not there to be genies to just grant you, whatever you want. Angels, Their main task is to keep the universe in order and to govern the cosmos. They have a very big picture perspective. So in a nutshell, this is my call to learn about the four cardinal virtues. Learn about the four cardinal virtues and Greek philosophy and the church and Proverbs. Learn about the four cardinal virtues and begin implementing them in your life and continue to nurture them in your life. And I think that it can help deepen a Shem angel experience. So the practice of wisdom and fortitude, temperance and justice. So that's the four cardinal virtues. And that's a video for Patreon. And after a year, all the Patreon videos will go public after a year, but that's a Patreon video. I've set the mission that every other video is Patreon, so this one is for Patreon. So thank you so much for joining me, and I wish everyone blessings in their path and their journey, and we're moving deeper in this together. We're moving through this together. And I want to thank everyone that is on this journey with me. And it really means a lot. We're in this together. So thank you very much for joining me. And I will see y'all in the next video. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you so much.